Senator Biden, welcome to the Advocates.
Thank you. Good to be here. Senator Biden, it's nice to have you here. As the youngest member of the Senate, the one, therefore, who may expect the longest career there, I wonder if you'd say to us, since it's clear that you're not corrupt and you got elected.
I highly doubt that.
Since it's clear that you're not corrupt and you got elected.
Why should people think that the system produces corrupt results when there you are?
Well, I'm not sure you should assume I'm not corrupt, but thank you for that, though. The system does produce corruption, and I think implicit in the system is corruption, when in fact, whether or not you can run for public office, and it costs a great deal of money to run for the United States Senate, even for a small state like Delaware, you have to go to those people who have money, and they always want something.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
When you're running for office, you have to go to people who have money in order to run. And when you do that, they're going to want something. They're going to always want something. So I need y'all to understand that. This brother is just admitting that, listen, although I'm not corrupt, I do realize the game. If I want to be a lifelong politician, which he has been a lifelong politician, he has to reach out to people and say, I need your money so that I can run. And they were like, okay, you need my money? Then guess what? I got a couple of things I need for you to do for me. And not all of those things are going to be good things. All right. Shout out to Linda B for this video.
Chicken, you know, when you go visit black people. Just saying, just saying. Let's get into it.
The thing about how perspectives change over time.
The faces you make, Linda B, are hilarious. If y'all are not already following Chat with me, Linda B, please make sure you do. I love the faces you make. Okay. How come every time Joe Biden is trying to woo black people, he always want to go and give them some chicken? Black people, all black people don't like chicken? Yes, we do. But that don't mean you show up and, the only time you want to, spend some time with us, it got to have some fried chicken and watermelon involved. Although it will be delicious. Okay.
Bobby Rush, member of Congress, said the other day, I'm ashamed that I voted for the 94 crime bill. You ashamed of that bill?
Not at all. In fact, I drafted the bill, as you remember.
I know that.
Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now, not out of a liberal instinct for love, brother, and humanity, although I think that's a good instinct, but for simple, pragmatic reasons. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets.
Didn't we say that Hillary Clinton came up with the term super predators? She was just following suit from Big Bro. Big Bro is Joe Biden, Big Joe. Yeah, she heard Joe, on just battling for the crime bill. And wasn't necessary. Some of the things that he was fighting for, don't lie, guys. Come on, let's be adults. Some of the things that he was fighting for as far as locking people up for committing crimes out there was necessary. But the fact that he was trying to make it all encompassing, no matter who uses the drug, whether it's medicinal, whether they just the type of person that gets strung out on drugs, and they all get charged as if they are selling the drug. This right here ruined communities, not only black communities, but many poor communities, whether it was poor white communities, poor black communities, it does not matter. It ruined a bunch of communities. And some people did not survive when they went to jail. We have been teaching people how to grow online. It's been absolutely amazing. We have 3 people who have been able to reach monetization in less than 30 days. Growing YouTube channels, some from 0 people. We have one guy who had 2 subscribers before he started working with me. He started helping him. His views went up 4.8 million%. We're super excited. If anybody ever want to grow on YouTube, you reach out to me with the word coach. Not everybody survives when they go to jail. We need to stop thinking that when people go to jail, they just, they have 3 hots in the cot and and it's nowhere near like it is on television. Let me tell you something. Life imitates art and art imitates life. It goes both ways. Some people don't walk out of there. And when some people do walk out of there, they walk out with traumas that some of us cannot deal with. Some of us cannot deal with. And all they did was go and purchase drugs so that they can go back to their homes and smoke it thin. And I don't encourage anybody to do that. I encourage people to go to the Lord if you have an issue, to go to your family, go to loved ones if you have any of them. And if you don't, like, that's the only time you can go to God and be like, look, I'm suffering from something. I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know. It's depression, it's anxiety. I don't have a job. My family don't love me. They walked away from me. Friends don't call me back. Lord, you've done it before. Please, please, please help me out in a mighty way. Now, you will have to humble yourself. You will have to have some patience. You will have to struggle through those hard times so that you're not going to hit something that's going to help it take the pain away. No, it's just going to trigger a part of your brain so you're not hyper-focused on that thing. And while you're not hyper-focusing on it, your body shuts down. Your body shuts down. You're not being productive. Life is going by, and you're not learning any skills that's going to help you get any jobs or opportunities that's going to bring you out of the muck that you're in. So all of this self-medication is just going to do you harm. So if you are one of those type of people who are victimized by drugs and alcohol, go to the Lord. Go to the Lord before anybody else. All right? And if you can't go to the Lord, go to somebody that you believe know God and see if they can pray for you, pray over you, pray with you, walk this walk with you. Because there are some evil people in this country. There are some evil people in the world, but there are also some good people who will take you by your hand, who will hug you and say, I got you. I will pray with you. I will walk with you. If you don't have it, I will help you out for the moment, but I will also teach you how to go get it yourself. See, the problem with the Democratic Party, they don't try to teach people how to do it. They just try to give it to you. And they try to tell you that you underperforming is normal. And it could be blamed on white people. It could be blamed on racism. It could be blamed on slavery. It could be blamed on all these other things, you being a product of your environment and all this other stuff, which is completely opposite from the truth, because I was a product of my environment, but I still decided to do things that will make my life better, to do things that will enable me to be able to have a family of my own, have all the things that my heart desired, that my wife's heart desired, that my children's heart desired. That if I didn't have a father in my life, so I made it up in my mind that if I ever have children, they will have a father in their life as well. So sometimes you got to do that rather than doing what Joe Biden did, which is everybody is punished. But then when his own son starts to go through the same things, he don't want to arrest him. He want to hide all of that information. He don't want anybody to see it. And if they do see it and try to speak on it, then they are blocked and knocked off of social media platforms so that he can continue to run his race and win. Because he know that if we had that information, then we would think about that while we're at the polls. Do we want to vote for somebody who put a whole bunch of poor blacks and poor whites in jail for the same thing that his son is doing, but he's covering that up? Do we want to vote for him? We didn't even have that opportunity to do that because there were certain 3-letter agencies that were locked in step with X or Twitter at the time, not allowing us to actually communicate about it openly. All right.
That society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created.
Okay. I'm going to tell you something, Jim Crow Joe. I know this was a long time ago.
She called that man Jim Crow Joe.
This was, 30 years ago? The things that he's complaining about, out of wedlock births, no parents. Well, they have their mother typically at home, but not the father. Those are things that the Democrat or the Demon Rat Party created. The welfare state, becoming dependent on the government, being married to the government.
She called the Democrat Party Demon Rat Party. She called Joe Biden Jim Crow Joe. Wow.
Rather than the father of the children. That's what the demon rats did. They always do something hideous. And now he's complaining about the thing that his own party created. Talking about, I'm just talking about the out of wedlock birth part when I say something that his party created. That's the only part I'm talking about. And he's talking about predators. Yes, these predators with no conscience. Yes, that's Jim Crow Joe. Yeah, he earned that name.
Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale.
Many of those people are beyond the pale. They are beyond fixing. They beyond everything. They are demons. Get rid of them. All of them. All of them. There's no fixing them. But today, he's speaking a completely different language because those people are keeping him in power. Think about that. Isn't that called pandering, right? Or is that called maybe he had a change of heart? I know y'all are saying, if you believe that Joe Biden had a change of heart, please put your thumb up. If you believe that he's just pandering and he knows that he's still the same old racist Jim Crow Joe, but he's using these people so that he can continue to win, give me a thumbs down.
And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society.
Mass incarceration has put hundreds of thousands behind bars for minor offenses. Joe Biden wrote those laws.
Every major crime bill that's come out of this Congress has had the name Joe Biden on that bill. We do everything but hang people for jaywalking in this bill.
Joe Biden's policies destroyed millions of black lives. Joe Biden may not remember, but we do.
Did this brother say he do everything but hang people for jaywalking? First of all, why are you talking about hanging people? The reason why I'm showing this is because I believe that a lot of people who are unaware of these videos being out, unaware of him speaking the way that he has been speaking, I believe that they need to see this. They need to watch it. They need to have their own eyes on it and not hear it from a third party so that they can just deny it and act like it never happened. No, he actually said this. He actually said this, and he's saying it to a bunch of people who support him, who vote for him on a daily basis, who keep him in keep him in line.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Look at her face.
Take a look at my record, man.
When I marched in the civil rights movement, I marched with tens of thousands of others.
He had not actually marched during the civil rights movement and kept telling the story anyway.
I came out of the civil rights movement. I was one of those guys that sat in and marched and all that stuff.
Now, his aides went back to say, look, he was in office marching for the idea.
That's not the word marching.
Twitter.
I was not out marching.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black,
they're going to put you all back in chains.
And you ain't black.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
You ain't black. You ain't black. You ain't black. You ain't black.
The most racist thing a person could tell me is that I'm supposed to choose something based on my race.
You ain't black.
All right, so first of all, he said they're going to put you back in chains, right? He also said that if you don't vote for me, you're not black. This dude said that I marched with the civil rights leaders and then came out and said, I never marched. Everybody that was with him said he never marched. But they called Trump the liar. And that right there is the part that we need to discuss.